Good evening, parents and students, if you're there too. Welcome to Back to School Night, virtual style for Sayreville Memorial High School for the 2020-2021 academic school year. This is Language Arts Literacy Skills, grade 11, and I am Miss Zank. I'm going to go over a couple things. One, I would like to talk about why your student is here, why they're in this class in particular, how it operates, and then of course I'll just quickly share my contact info, and then how our grading breakdown and things like of that nature will go. Okay, so I share with you my screen. It is my original web page, which I did share with the students on Google Classroom the first week of school. So if you go back there, you can find it. It is on OnCourse. It is attached. I just put all the information into OnCourse. I basically just copy and pasted it in. But I mean, I like mine better. Anyway, okay. So why is my student in this class? Yes, this is an intervention course. Yes, this is similar to having a second English class. The only difference is in this class, we specifically work on reading and writing, like the skills of reading and writing, right? We're brushing up on things that we have learned in a sense, but maybe not to the extent that we should have learned them, right? Maybe they got passed over a little bit. And this is all in preparation to complete a graduation requirement. So let me explain. Up to this point in your student's academic career, they have not passed a standardized test graduation requirement. Okay, now this could have happened for a multitude of reasons, Um, Way back when it was the park, before it was the NJSLA, many people thought it wouldn't matter, it wasn't going to count. We don't, didn't agree with standardized tests, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, we live in New Jersey and these are the laws and rules, and it did count. So if you may have had a student that just said, I'm not going to take it, I don't care, it doesn't matter. You may have had a student that is a ELL and or English language learner who didn't, English is not their first language. And so those tests are quite a struggle for those particular students. You may have had a student that was absent the day that they took these tests. You may have had a student that just said they didn't care. And you may have had a student who perhaps really does struggle a little bit with some of these skills. Okay. So usually your child falls into one of these places. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. We are going to hopefully fix that by the end of this semester. Yes, this is a semester long course, so it will be done in February. It takes the place of an elective that your child was not able to take. So it's very important that not only do they get all the information in preparation for the testing that we have to do near the end, but also that they pass the course because they need the credits to cover those electives that they could not take, okay, because they had to take this. So as far as the assessments go, we will be working towards a possible test that can cover this graduation requirement they're missing, which is called the AccuPlacer test. We will not take it to the end of the semester. I'm going to prepare them for it along the way. And you think to yourself, what are you, 3 months or what is it? September, October. I'm sorry, 6 months? No, I said that wrong. 5 months. Whoa, sorry. I've tried to make this video like 5 times. It's very difficult. 5 months preparing for one test. It's okay because the actual preparation for this test, it's a writing test and it's kind of a persuasive logical argument type of test. These are skills that, transfer to the real world, especially now in today's world where logic seems to have gone out the window. So it is very important that, not only do they retain these skills for, yes, the passing of their graduation requirement, but also, to be able to understand how this goes on in the real world, how it transfers to the real world. Okay, so there is no lack of that connection. I make sure to make that connection so they don't just feel like they're, taking, like getting prepared for a test. Okay, now Like I said, we'll be working towards the AccuPlacer, but in the meantime, if anything from a guidance counselor comes your way about your child signing up for PSAT or SAT or ACT, please, please, please sign them up. Please, please, please make them take it. These are also possible ways to clinch that graduation requirement that they are missing. Okay, they have to pass something, one of these standardized tests, something. If they do not, they cannot, like, they have to, that's how they graduate, right? They have to. I know that sucks, stinks, but there's definitely a couple different options. So they're in 11th grade and they still have another year just in case. And of course, there is such a thing as LAL Skills 12. That's a whole other story. But, hopefully we can get them through this year, and then next year they can have a nice elective for their senior year. Okay. So just in case I confused you, because I kind of talk a little fast on here, it's the video stuff. Here is the overview. Again, coursework is designed to facilitate mastery of the NJ, New Jersey Student Learning Standards, and help you to become a better reader, writer, thinker, speaker. This class supports students in meeting those literary standards as measured by those standardized test assessments that are required for graduation. We'll be working with various tools and online programs to help you prepare for mastering those assessments, as well as preparing you for college, trade, and career expectations. Like I said, I do make a connection to the real world. And also, this is, how can I say this without sounding like conceited in a way? You're actually getting a little bit more than a majority of your classmates, in a sense that if you have any struggles with your English course, I am always here as a backup. Okay. I am always here to help. I've already had students reaching out from my senior classes asking, can you reread over my college essay from my English class? Can you read this? Of course I can. That's why I'm here. I'm here to supplement and to also help and intervene with any student that might be struggling with writing or reading, speaking, anything across the board. Okay. This is our overall goal, is to make your student better at all of these skills. Okay. Yes, this is a little bit easier than regular English class. And no, we do not read long novels and such. Okay. We work on small, short things, and we actually work on a lot of writing. So I know they hate to hear that, but sometimes parents are like, yay, they're going to write more. My contact information is, of course, my email, Catherine.Zank@sayrevillek12.net, which you can do at any time. Please, please, please email me with any questions. I usually get back to people pretty promptly, unless it's late at night, at which point, most likely I will answer you the next day. Usually after 7:30, I try to shut off all that is technology, especially now, to take a break. When we start going back to school, and sometimes I will be in the school, my extension for the school number is 8259. Our classroom is B207. And most importantly here is the office hours, which are available Monday through Friday from 1:17 to 2:12. All the teachers are required to have office hours. Here is the link to my WebEx office room. Okay, I kind of just put it on and put it in the background. And if anyone wants to come in, it will notify me and I will just allow you in. If you specifically want to create a time slot because you would like to talk about something with your student, and or the student would like to talk to me and they don't want to be interrupted, I will block away a section of that time for your child or for you, especially if it has anything to do with grades. On to grades. Please remind your student that they're not to discuss their grades via virtual. Even in class, they do it all the time. They like to shout out the things that they've done or things that they've done wrong, which is very frustrating for us teachers. That is their own personal business, and they should not be sharing it. Some of them are doing it virtually now, and I have to remind them that if they would like to discuss their grade at any point, they have to come to the office hours and or email me. Okay. It's just, if it's a good thing, sure, but it might make other people, feel like not so great. But if it's a bad thing, you shouldn't be proud and sharing it, right? It's not the way we operate. Okay. However, the grading policy, goes like this. It's very simple. I keep a very simple breakdown on purpose, so that way the grade often evens itself out if there's any issues. Your quarterlies are 15%. The quarterlies are the first quarterly is basically the practice acupuncture test, and then the second one is hopefully the real thing if we get back in school, right? Your homework is, of course, 5%. And then I just break down larger assessments and smaller assessments into 40-40. This keeps the grade usually at an even keel as I enter more things throughout the semester. I would like to point out that if in the beginning of the semester or the beginning of the quarter, um, very few grades go in. So the weight percentage of those grades is very high. Like sometimes if there's only three, one of them will be worth like 20% of the grade. Now, by the time we go through everything, those percentages will all be lower than 15%. Okay. So the grade will start to even out. So I don't want student and or parent to freak out when in the beginning, if you have a missing assignment or a low grade on something, but there's only three assignments and your grade just dropped, to a C or a D. Yes, it doesn't look great, but you will have more grades and that weight percentage will even itself out. Okay. So that one particular grade will not be worth as much once all of the other grades are in. So I know it drives everybody crazy to see when there's a bad grade, but it will more than likely change unless, of course, your student is not handing or doing anything, right? So please, please, please don't panic. um, Things tend to find their equilibrium eventually. And I am kind of a pain in the butt, and the students will start to notice this. If I see that you are missing more than one or two assignments, I'm going to keep emailing you like every other day to let you know. I'm going to keep saying, this is still missing. This is still missing. And yes, you can do it, and you can do it up to 2 weeks. After that, I'm not going to remember what it is, to be honest with you. I have 100 and something students. I'm not going to be able to go back that far. It's just too much. Okay. So please, if you are missing something, as I keep reminding you, either tell me I'm just not going to do it so I can avoid the email, or just do it. Nothing that I assign is very difficult or time consuming. Okay, because this is about brushing up on those skills and getting better. I'm looking for quality work, not quantity. So there is no busy anything. Okay, there is no busy work. Every single thing that I assign has a purpose. It has a purpose, and it's going to help you get through this test at the end. Okay, help them get through this test at the end. So right. So the students already know this, but if they're going to be absent, everything's on Google Classroom. If they are really sick and they're out for a few days, I told them to, of course, contact me, or a parent contact me. I will pick and choose what assignments I think are more important for them. Maybe not all of them they'll need to do. Okay. Sometimes we do stuff like in class every day, and I don't count those assignments as like huge graded assignments. I just check to see that the person is following along and paying attention and doing it, right? But not everything is graded. So obviously just reach out to me if your child is, ill and cannot even get on the computer. Again, the late work, um, please make every effort. Please make sure they make every effort to turn things in, and but not at the end. Do not expect them to come to me at the end of the quarter and then hand everything in at once. I'm not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. And of course, make sure to remind your students of the technology expectations, that they please charge their devices the night before when they get on in the morning. I know not everyone has the space, but it is important that they get out of bed and go sit somewhere else that's not their bed, because they are falling asleep. I know they are, because sometimes I go to leave the classroom and there's one person still in there who doesn't leave, right? I have to basically kick them out. It happens. They're young. This information is not always the most exciting information, right? So please, please, please make sure to help them establish some type of routine so they're not staying up all night long. I'm still getting people and giving me assignments at 2, 3 a.m. They should not be doing that. There's no reason for that. They have plenty of time during the day to accomplish these things. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the other classes, but as long as for me, I'm never going to give like hours worth of extra work. Okay. Please make sure to remind them to respect other people in there. Just because they can't be seen does not mean they cannot be heard. And of course, like I said, they don't have to turn their cameras on, but it is appreciated because I do like to talk to people's faces and not to little squares. And that's that. Here is, I just left a little thing for your parent and guardian involvement. If you need any of these things on the checklist that you don't have, their passwords for Google Classroom, any information, contact information, anything that you don't have, please, have it. There is no stronger advocate for a child than an involved parent, right? When you care, they care as well. Um, so if you have any questions, obviously you can reach out to me at any time. Like I said, my email is Catherine.Zank at Sayreville K12.net. And like I said, I will be pretty prompt in my responses to you. Hopefully I covered everything. It's so hard to do this virtually. You write it down, you look at it, and you wonder, did I say that? Did I not say that? I can't even remember half the stuff I said. As the information comes in, as far as the testing procedures will go, when we go back hybrid, kids that are still staying virtual, like the as I get information, I will relay that information to your student and to you guys. Okay. Right now, everything is like, how is this going to work? Right. And because we have some time before we would do it anyway, I mean, we're talking like February is normally when we test the kids. Then we have plenty of time to sort of figure out a plan that's obviously safe and follows all the social distancing guidelines and such and such. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Please email me. Please call me. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I love talking to people, actual people. And take care and have a great school year. Thank you.